Oh, there's nothing like a little Grateful Dead to start a radio show. Good Sunday evening to you and everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk Oconee SC, streaming worldwide at letstalkoconeesc.com and on our Facebook page as well. Chris, good to have you with us. Where in the hell did you get that hat? We converted him.
All right.
Like that, huh? Okay.
Well, hey, you know what? I knew as soon as the OCC started getting elitist Lake members running the show, that all the Democrats over here were going to start switching.
I'm going to run against Durham for that job. I'm going to run the OCC myself.
Good luck with that. I love that look. Hey, I love the look at Kathy's giving us right now. That little snarky little turn her nose up like Bewitched. Kathy, welcome in. Glad to have you with us here this Sunday evening.
Yep. Good to be here.
Okay, I'm going to take it off, but I won.
Leave it on. Leave it on.
I won some money that I said, the guy said, you'll never wear it. I said, I'll wear it, but if I wear it, then you're going to give me money because I'm going to contribute to Hart and Durham's opponent.
All right, hold on. I got my hat. Hang on.
So I'm taking off this piece of shit, and I'm going to put on my designer hat.
I didn't know we were doing hat. I've got hat.
What doing? I'm the big pink Easter bunny. My name is Jeffy. What doing, everybody?
Oh my gosh, are you the now he's the OCC shaman. We call him the OCC Sherman.
All right. For full disclosure, the show is not live, okay? We're actually tape delayed. We recorded the show yesterday, which was Saturday. And in the meantime, one of the Christmas parades we know of was postponed until December the 9th. That's the Walhalla Parade.
December 10th.
Is it December the 10th?
Yeah.
Okay, December the 10th. Okay, Saturday. That'll be on a Sunday, I believe. In the afternoon. So I thought I would pass that along. Now, there's supposed to have been a parade earlier today. I don't know if it happened or not because we're on tape delay. I don't want to get y'all confused. I'm sorry. It's just the way things are working out. All right, we have an interesting show for you today. Rannie has got some interesting stuff.
This is going to be great. I promise
I promise everybody that this is going to be great. We've got some other things. We're going to talk about a little bit on our show today about Oconee apparently is loaded. Apparently we have more money than we know what to do with. Now, that's according to this interview that the chairman went with Fox Carolina and did and said in the interview.
Said we're flush with cash.
That we're flush with cash.
That's why we're borrowing.
Yep,
that's why we're borrowing.
Yep, $25 million bond.
Which will translate to $40 million payback. That's where the money's coming
from.
But
I'm telling you, we're loaded. And I just thought that was just one of the greatest things that, you claim you're conservative, but you're sitting.
But here's the thing: that guy can write all the checks he wants to, and somebody else in the future is going to have to cash them.
Well, sure.
And I'm telling you what: if that's the new conservative way, I don't want to be a part of it.
I don't want to be a conservative anyway. Period. Like that. No.
That's not being conservative. That's passing the buck down the road to your grandchildren.
You don't even know what the hell a checkbook is.
They don't.
40 years. 40.
Throw that word around. Just to get votes. We've established.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We've established that because
they're very, very disingenuous people, all of them.
Well, you ready?
But in the end, everybody's paying for it.
This is a breaking news alert. Tuesday night, there's a county council meeting, and we have sat here on this show for almost a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought and we said that there's more to this sewer south than first seen, right?
Yep.
We've said that
numerous
times, right?
And from our vantage point, we can see it.
Oh, well, we're going to see it because if you go to OconeeSC.com and you pull up backup materials for Tuesday night's county council meeting and you scroll down several pages, there's something interesting in there that there's a little bit of some transfer of some property for some right-of-ways. And, well, I started looking a little bit more heavily at that. And didn't we say that we knew that sewers coming up Highway 11?
Yep.
Well, we've definitely discussed it. We said that, it would have been better for it to go down Route 11.
Well, but it's coming down 85.
Yep.
and it's going up now, Highway 11, and it's going up real close to some certain people's properties.
I never believed that when you said that. I never.
But
Well,
Charles Cromlink, who is over that Fair Play Development whatever corporation,
he's the one who got all that property for sale down there for millions of dollars too, right?
That's exactly right.
Ooh.
And on top of that, there is an agreement that the council, it's all in the backup material. You can read it for yourself. Like, we've been lying all along about everything. We didn't tell the truth. We lie. But we ain't lying about this, because now there's some focused evidence here says, well, guess what? Let's talk Oconee SC was right. They're moving it more up this way, getting it closer and closer to guess whose property?
Yep.
Glenn Hart.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, I only wish that when I hear this stuff and I get so disenchanted, I just think, as a taxpayer, I just wish you'd kiss me before you'd screw me here.
Well, not only this, but this week we've also been hearing about how there's going to be gravity flow sewer that's attached to this thing, where this disingenuous council has told the public that it was going to be forced main all the way down there.
Yeah,
and that came out at the OJSRA meeting with Miss Brock and the chairman down there talking, and he didn't know. But now, if they're going to be gravity flow and people can hook on to it, now the OJSRA is going to be even more responsible for this thing.
The way it's written,
well,
it said that they would have to use.
If it comes within 300 feet of your property,
and they said, "Oh no,
you're going to have to hook on."
Yeah, they said, "Oh no, but it's not going to be set up that way." So that just don't look at that. That doesn't matter, folks, because it's not going to be set up that way.
It might not matter right now, but just as soon as OJSRA starts hurting for money and needing infrastructure, they're gonna put it right on the backs of the people.
That's right.
And here's the thing that your house, there's people in this county that live half a mile off of the county right of way to get to their house. Now it's the way it's written says 300 feet of your property. It doesn't say 300 feet of your house on your property.
Yeah.
So they may be on the hook to buying a half a mile of 3-inch pipe or whatever size pipe they're going to use to hook onto the sewer with, digging the hole and all of that.
So
that'll be very expensive.
Here's the other thing:
the homeowner won't get charged, will they?
Yeah,
they will.
I would say when the county starts hurting for money after we buy all the bullshit.
How much could that be for each homeowner?
The other thing too.
A 20 section foot of 3-inch pipe is like $30.
Hold on, Kathy, go ahead.
Here's the other thing too. Say you've had a septic system, and then they come out and inspect it, and they say, "Oh no, your septic system's not good anymore." DHEC gets to decide that. You don't get any say in that. They say, "Oh no, we think that it's not good anymore." You're not going to have the option to go back and say, "Hey, well, I'll just dig and get a new septic system." You no longer would have the right, the way this is written, to say, "Hey, I'll just go get a new septic system." You're going to have to hook into that sewer. And here again, like you're saying, you could be looking at, half a mile of pipe that you're going to have to pay rather than having the option to replace your septic system. So, I mean, what kind of system is that where they're like, "Oh, you don't have any options. You're going to do it our way."
That hasn't been. Now, I'm going to go back a little bit, because they were talking that allegedly, now this was back, I believe, in October of last year, that they were supposed to rewrite all of this. And for clarification, they've not touched it.
Right.
It's still the same. That what was published, but they said in the meeting that they were going to go back and rewrite this, where it wasn't going to be made mandatory. But as of to date, right now, it's still the same. And again, now that we've got this in county council before for Tuesday, it just goes to show you what we've been telling everybody is the truth. That the intention was not only to get it to exit 1, but to bring it up exit 1 there towards up Highway 11. because certain people have already made the statements, and I keep reiterating that. It was in the paper. He made the statement, and I'm talking about Glenn Hart, that he wasn't going to recuse himself. Yes, he owns property, but at what point does this cross a line that this is illegal, that the council member stands to make money off the taxpayer? Everybody in that whole project now, whatever's happening down there, stands to make money off taxpayer dollars, and I think that's absolutely damn wrong.
But here when we talk about the homeowner that lives a half a mile from the right of way where he has to connect to the sewer, a half a mile, 5,280 feet. Half of that's 2,260. Well, divide that by 10, you get 264 pieces of pipe that you're going to need for 4-inch sewer pipe. And I just looked at HomeDepot.com. They're $25.96. So the pipe alone for a homeowner to pipe from the house to the sewer is going to cost them $6,800.
But are they going
to? That's not the digging.
But are they even going to be able to hook up to it?
If it's gravity fed and it's forced, then you're talking about a $12,000 to $15,000 ordeal because really.
That's how they lose their homes.
But here's the thing: you talk about construction is generally going to cost 3 times the parts. Is kind of how that works. 3 times $6,800. I mean, you're getting really close to $20,000. Now, hopefully, most of them houses aren't that far away, and you might be looking at $6,000 or $7,000.
See, I think the whole thing is just absolutely asinine. I think that it's crazy.
But hey, just remember that this group, when we talk about, the working class and the poor guy and the common guy and all that stuff, when Westminster was talking about water and annexing and stuff, the mouthpiece for that group said, hey, if you don't like it, dig a well. Mm-hmm. They don't care nothing about common folks in this county.
They don't. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so when you look at this and you remember their platform that we talked about last year, and they wanted to keep it rural, et cetera, et cetera. So what you're seeing is this group has been talking about government intervention, government forcing them to do things, blah, blah, blah. What's happened in the past few months, you were finding very clearly the taxpayers are being forced, their backs are against the wall, and they're being forced to do things, and it's happening so fast. So nobody, just like when Sewer South wasn't even discussed, and one day later, boom, all of a sudden they were all in support of it. They have been planning this. There's no way in hell this was not a concerted effort, and it's being forced on the. And not only look at the bond. All of a sudden, we got over that, and then the $25 million bond came up. It's going to cost us $40.
No, you're absolutely right. They've been, and here's the thing.
Conservative,
but here's the thing. Amanda Brock let the cat out of the bag at the OJSRA meeting when she said. And it was on WGOG's where I heard it. She was talking about that in some closet she found a plan where 25 years ago this was an option, and it didn't get done.
The option was 25 years ago is to actually build a plant down there.
So,
and they were going to use the Golden Corners Commerce Park to build a sewer plant, but that would have been way less expensive 25 years ago, and could potentially make an economic impact.
But what's happened, though, in my opinion, what's happened is for the last 25 years, there's been a small group, probably 12 people, that have been wanting to do this. And it's taken them 25 years to find a council that's dumb enough to do it. The people before them stood up and said, "No, we ain't doing that. We don't want this."
No,
and here we are.
No, Randy, it's not. No, it's not like that. And I know this. This is history, and I've done the research on this. You had a bunch of people in Fairplay that stood up and stopped it. Mm-hmm. It was a whole different atmosphere because you had a lot of the close-knit farmers. There was a whole lot more farmers down there 25 years ago than they are now.
Well, there's going to be a whole lot less 25 years from now.
And there's going to be a lot less than 5 years from now, if you want to know the truth. But this was a concerted effort from the citizens to put a stop to it. They put a stop to it 25 years ago. if folks could just sit back and read the history of how all of this has happened, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Golden Corners Commerce Park. When that whole deal went down, nobody wanted the Golden Corners Commerce Park. They were people that were mad. It was an underhanded dealing.
The farmer that owned the land didn't want it. That's why he shanghaied the county with it.
No, it's a little more involved than that. There was a potential. You want to talk about kickbacks? There was money exchanged hands on somebody.
None of that shit surprises me from any of it.
And again, you got to go back and look at the whole context of everything. But that sewer down there, they first started, they wanted to put it down at the rest area, down at exit 1, and then that wasn't going to be no good. So then they moved it back up and said, well, why don't we just build it there at the Golden Corners Commerce Park? But that's also about the same time that Pioneer Water got involved, and they wanted to build a water plant to take water out of Hartwell. Well, let me be honest, for you folks that are on Pioneer Water, you know your water stinks. The water, since they built that treatment plant, Pioneer Water is still having to buy water from Seneca, and I don't know if they're still buying it from Westminster, but the whole thing was, we're going to get all this down here, so we got to have a water plant and stuff like that. But you got to go back and take a look at everything, and these people now they're running, like the OCC, they have no clue about history. It's like they just come in here and they feel like they're running the roost. They know everything about it. But again, history dictates a lot of this stuff that we're seeing. And with this sewer down here, there was a plan 25 years ago to save money. It would have been more economic feasible, and it would have a quicker return by putting it down there than instead of piping the sewer something like 10 miles all the way back up to your central sewer. It still makes no sense. If you're wanting to do this, and we've been said this all along, I'm okay with exit 4. I had no problem with exit 4. So, but why are you having to spend all of this money when you could have built another plant that could have had a multi-million capacity? If you're wanting to develop an I-85 corridor, what's going to happen when you put 5 or 6 businesses down there and you put a couple manufacturing? Your lines and stuff coming back up to the main plant now are going to be overloaded. You're still going to be wasting money. You're going to, in 10 years, if this is ever developed, which I don't believe it will be developed.
That was never the point. The point was to put money in their pockets, and that's not about the development.
Well, what they're trying to do is the governor of South Carolina made a statement about 2 years ago, Governor McMaster, that he wanted to see sewer run all up and down the interstate, everywhere in South Carolina. Now, could you imagine putting sewer down I-95 in the dumps down of Santee?
Well, if they needed it, it would be one thing.
But they don't need it.
Yeah.
And again, in Oconee is a whole hell of a lot different. We only have 4 miles of interstate in Oconee County.
What I don't
Makes
understand,
you think that he was out somewhere and needed to use a bathroom, and there was.
Well, if he took, if Foghorn Leghorn took Glen Hart, he wouldn't need it at all. He just go in the woods and shake it dry.
But here's the thing. Yesterday I went down to Elberton, Georgia. Went down Route 11 to exit 1, went over and come back. Well, I came back, and I was just driving up through there, all the way to exit 4, and come back up. There's not that much buildable real estate on the north side of 85.
Nope, that's right. There. You're right.
What I mean, there's some of that is so close to the water that there's no way to build. So what's the point? Other than somebody wants a monument that needs water to put their name on it, which is fine. That's just say that.
Well, I mean, why don't you just take some recycled shit and just recycle shit water down there and make you big old brown fountain? Because that looks a hell of a lot better than the water you pull out of Hartwell down there.
But the thing about it is, the thing about all of this is, we've been hoodwinked by this group about the real cost of what this is, and we're not talking about $40 million. That's just for the bond. This infrastructure thing is just going to continue to grow. continue to grow. And I've said that it will get to $125 to $175 million before it's over with.
And there won't be a Durham turd put in the pipe.
And that's a lot of money to put on the backs of retired people who come here, and when they turn 65, they get that homestead exemption. And that, you know who's paying that? No, the state. The state has to pay the difference in all these exemptions. So, really,
we still have to pay for it regardless.
We're paying for it in all these other ways. But they say, well, you know, all these folks got these exemptions, and they're at 4% instead of 6%. But the thing about
an ag exemption for 12 acres, paying $800, and I'm paying like $3,300.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems.
Let me say one.
We got to take.
Let me say one
quickly. We got to take a break.
Okay, so you look at what's going on here, and you see how quickly things have shifted in the last 4 months. So there is a management technique that we were taught, and
this was in industry, right?
When we were taught at GE, and the thing is, when we had to make changes, companies that don't make changes quick are always the ones that are fail. Look at Kmart or whatever. So I was in a class, and I was listening to Welch talking one time, and he was talking about the new initiative, more like crap. And he goes, listen, you want to know why we do these things? It's because you have one technique. You move so fast that you shock people so they don't have time to react, and you make the change. That's what's happening here.
All right, we've got more of our show. Thanks for joining us here on this Sunday evening. This is coming to you via tape-delayed basis, and we've got the good, juicy stuff still to come. Rannie Bond gets a text, and we'll have details all about that coming up here.
Test.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We have an actual soil test that our very own biologist and zoologist, Chris Ruin, zoologist.
Thank you.
He is going to do a soil test today of the Golden Corners Commerce Park, and that's all straight ahead coming up right here on Let's Talk Oconee SC. Stay with us.
The Christmas tree is lit and the lights are going. You need to grab all your family and friends and bring them on down to Norton Thompson Park, 5:30 till 10 every night throughout the week through the end of the year. It's the magical musical holiday light show. But don't just drive through. Get out, take some pictures, share, get some great things to eat from some of our local businesses right here in downtown Seneca, and take advantage of all this beautiful, magical holiday light show atmosphere. Get your gingerbread houses ready because it's down Gingerbread Lane. Find out all the details on our Facebook site, Seneca SC Events. You can drop off your gingerbread house at City Hall. And then December 14th, we take it back to Ramcat Alley for a little jazzy Christmas with Jamie Wright.
I was able to select a few of my all-time favorite Christmas songs.
There's so much happening in the city of Seneca throughout the holiday Christmas season. There's so much happening downtown Seneca throughout the year. Come check it out. It's absolutely free. Bring your family, make some great memories. Follow us on Facebook or check us out on the web at seneca.sc.us.
Here's what's coming up to the Eagle Nest Art Center located in Salem. Coming up November the 4th, it's the Tunes of the Cowboy Trail. Tickets are $10 day of the event or on our website. Also, a $20 show and supper is available. Jeff Wilson will sing the songs of Gene Autry, Cowboy Polkas, and so much more. Coming up November the 18th at 7 p.m., it's the Oconee Mountain Opry. Tickets $10 day of the event or on their website. Don't miss the last Opry of the year with Faisue McLean. And also, too, the Christmas Talent Showcase is coming up December the 2nd, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can showcase your Christmas talent, don your Christmas attire, and be a part of bringing Christmas spirit to our community. For more information, you can visit their website at eaglenestartcenter.com or you can call 864-280-1258. That's the Eagle Nest Art Center located in Salem. Their website, eaglenestartcenter.com. Welcome back. Sunday evening here on Let's Talk OconeeSC.com. Don't forget, if you miss any one of our shows, they're all available because they're the number one show amongst the OCC They watch it every week, and we thank them for their support, because without them, we wouldn't have all that free money we're getting from Facebook. Yeah, I need to turn your microphone
Yeah,
on.
ain't that the truth, man?
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have something special right now. Our Mr. Chris
hold on,
Ruin here.
Let me set the stage.
Okay, go right ahead.
So, at last county council meeting,
yes,
one of those disingenuous guys was trying to call somebody a liar. And
They do that.
well, the thing is, there's been a lot of rumors about the soil quality at Golden Corners Commerce Park.
that's correct.
And why that might be why a lot of folks aren't choosing the Golden Corners Commerce Park to put their factories. And the county wants to spend a lot more money to save face on a bad business decision from 20 years ago.
You're right.
Well, so the other day it came to me a survey from Clemson University in 1962 of all the soil in Oconee County, all of it. And it tells you that there's places you can and places you shouldn't build. But you know, like the rest of the leaders in the county, I don't believe the data from Clemson because it's Clemson. It wasn't Harvard or something. I don't know.
I just have to say that Clemson does excellent work, and you can trust their surveyors.
You can.
I would thought that you could because I thought I knew one of them, and I think that they do good work, but the county doesn't think so. So they don't want to use their data to do this. So what I've done is I went ahead and used some of the money that came from Facebook. I got it with Jeff, and we've been making because the OCC has been watching. And
the more they watch, the more money we make.
Well, anyways, I hired an expert from Ruin Consulting LLC, and he's here. Me and him, we went down there to Golden Corners Commerce Park. We went right to the middle of the facility down there. He cut the dead kudzu out of the way. I broke 2 shovels trying to get through the kudzu, right? But anyways, we got some dirt, and we put it here in this sample test kit that he said was the best one. And now he's here. He's going to do a live soil sample from down there. So take it over, Chris.
And this is an independent soil test. I had the best equipment I could buy. I got it off of Temu. And I'm checking this, and I'm going to make a decision, and I'm going to advise my clients. Now, I'm not a part of the show because I'm working right now. So for the next couple of minutes, I'm working independently. Of course, I get compensated.
At $244,000 we've paid him for this.
But it's worth it because I'm going to be independent. So let me get this off. We have to be careful. It had to be decontaminated.
Decontaminated,
Here
right?
You go. Hold on. Oh, God, that's stanky. Hey.
What's it smell like, Chris?
Oh, it smells like dog. Well, anyways, here we go, folks.
Oh, Jeff.
So,
what does it smell like?
It smells like Matt Durham's ass.
Wait a minute.
Oh, my God.
Let me get my sample out here. Okay. Hold on. Ooh.
Oh, it's
Okay.
white.
Okay.
White.
Hold on.
Are you sure there's not something in that soil?
I don't know.
That's what we're paying him for. Find out.
Well, this is the soil. I mean, it looks good, but I don't know. I have to test it. Okay, so here, Jeff, could you please hold that up? No,
Yes.
I'm not going to get you
Now,
that
what is
Facebook
that?
money.
What is that? Is that Lake Kiwi water, or did that come from
No,
Pioneer?
that's sewer water.
No. This is vintage City of Seneca, 2023.
So it should be pretty good.
It is
right?
good water.
Okay, hold
Best
on.
in the state.
Hold on. Let me just. Okay, now everybody just be calm.
Okay, there we go.
All we're gonna do is just. Wait a minute.
Okay. Why is it
Little
fizzing
more,
like
little more.
that?
Wait, a little bit
What's
more.
going on?
Whoa! Why is
No,
it fizzing?
Well, yeah, but look at it. Look at.
Holy cow!
Well, a little more.
Okay.
Okay, now.
It's fizzing. There's smoke coming out of it.
I don't know what. Ooh, it's kind of gooey.
I smell it from here now.
Oh.
Dang gum.
Yeah, but wait a minute, guys. I'm the expert. Okay, hold on.
Okay, sorry.
Hold on. Oh, okay, hold on.
No, you're not.
You know what? There's only one way to test it. Unless I read the instructions wrong from Temu. Oh, God, it's nasty. God, it feels like a rock. Holy, look at that.
What is that? Pieces of rock in it?
Y'all got to see this on camera.
Okay, so
Look at that right there.
hold on. Now,
That's rabbit turds.
One last thing. I got to check this. But then, oh, shit. Okay, hold on. Yep, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Okay. This will not hold heavy manifest.
So you're saying that right there would loosen up a compaction issue?
You might be able to put like a home side deck on this property.
Right.
You know, if somebody wanted to have barbecue and sell barbecue, but you couldn't do any type of that's my opinion. That's what my kit says from Temu, and I'm just telling the county that.
Right. Maybe they should make it a park. Maybe put the greenway on down there.
You can't do anything on it. I don't even think it'll support cement.
I think you just build another damn lake.
You know. So anyway, now I got to go back to my show.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
So
I
interesting. I do.
Hey, so if you don't mind, will we make sure we get a comprehensive report of your analysis?
And I'd like to present that January to the county council.
I'd like to take it to the planning commission first.
I'll do the standard.
Let's use all the resources.
I'll do the standard 1265.
Because if you're aware, it was earlier in the week that I believe there was a comment that big $1 billion building project went to inactive status.
Really?
Oh,
really? Blue Oval battery packs, lithium ions, and on top of that, they went to
what was it called?
Blue Oval.
Blue Oval.
Yep, Blue Oval, and they're based out of Kentucky. Yeah. And they have just built.
That's what the check said that I received.
Yeah,
when I did
they just built, or they have just accepted an agreement to go to somewhere in Tennessee. They have a park in Kentucky, Glendale, Kentucky. It's Blue Oval. SK Battery Park is the first one, but they manufacture electrical batteries for your electric vehicles and stuff. So that was the $1 billion manufacturer. Is it just me? But this makes the second time that a battery manufacturer's tried to get the Golden Corners Commerce Park and nothing. It just did not happen.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Blue Oval SK begins hiring hourly employees in Tennessee. 2,500 employees be hired out there. The other 3,300 employees will work at the Tennessee Electric Vehicle Center to build out Ford's next generation electric truck.
And we lost them.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. We didn't lose anything.
We didn't lose anything. Matter of fact, we probably saved our county by losing it.
Could you imagine
having
3,300 people making batteries here?
And again, granite is a big component of lithium ion. Okay, granite. We have a lot of granite around here.
Elberton, Georgia is the granite capital of the world.
And ask the folks in Rock Hill what's going on right now with their area.
What is?
Because they're trying to strip the lithium out of some of the areas in Rock Hill. I don't know if I want a lithium ion plant building batteries in Oconee County.
I thought that most lithium was ored by little 8 and 10-year-old fellas overseas.
I'm just saying that
there's a lot of that can be in the United States, and they're going to try to find it here.
Nike shoes with a little
hands. But I mean, am I going to have to worry about my 10-year-old going to work in a dang gun lithium mine?
Well, what kind of benefits do they get paid?
Let me just say,
your lights on.
Let me just say for the record that I have sent an email to their public relations department inquiring as to why they decided not to come to Oconee County. Coming up in a couple of weeks,
I wonder.
I'm going to have representatives on from the company.
Let me ask you this though: was it the physical location, or was it the dynamics of the community with the anti-Semitic and all the other things that it's been in the paper for the last 2 years?
No, there's a whole lot more.
So, I mean, I'm really interested.
That sounds like me. I'm going to get hired again for.
Well, let me just say that the last company that looked at the Golden Corners Commerce Park, they were a battery manufacturer too. Oh. We lost out to Commerce, Georgia. Commerce, Georgia made this whole spill and built them their own facility, Banks County. And guess what? They went belly up.
Now, I don't know. I think what we probably need in Oconee County is a medical data transcription service. That's what we need in Oconee County.
We need a translator to understand what Matt's actually saying when he attends a meeting.
So,
all right. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah,
we wanted to
go ahead.
We wanted to pass along, though, that far it is inactive. I mean, Jamie Gilbert made that it's inactive. Well, inactive means it's done. We're not going to see it. Again, $1 billion, jobs, and there's more jobs than people want to work.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And on top of that, I want you to ask your questions. Ask yourself, when's the last time that a major corporation opened up in Oconee County? I want y'all to do some homework, and I want y'all to come back and tell me what the last time that a major corporation opened up in Oconee County.
And let me ask one question.
You'd be shocked at how many years it's
Look
been.
at what we're doing with Sewer South. No due diligence,
Nothing.
just spending a shitload of money. And what happened to Golden Corner Commerce Park a couple of years back, and what's happening now?
Still happening.
Exactly.
Hey, just remember this. The OCC talks about how the Democrats like to spend money like a drunken sailor.
Yep.
Right?
They do.
Well,
absolutely. That's what they say.
As far as I know, as being a drunken sailor, quite often, we stop spending money when we're out. And we don't borrow money. We just go back to the ship and go to sleep.
Wasn't it Nix that mocked that about the Infrastructure Act?
Right.
What is that, like a
Well,
half
if
1% of the money they're using?
But my thing is there's no Democrats supposedly on our county council.
Nope.
And they're spending money like they're Daddy Warbucks.
Well, and if you talk to Democrats,
the county councilman is supposed to be in the Walhalla Christmas parade, and at the rate that he's throwing money away on stupid shit, I expect that he's going to be tossing money out the window of his Lexus
for votes.
Who knows why he's doing it?
He got money coming out the wazoo.
But is the county going to buy candy? That's what I want to know.
Well,
I want to see the county buy $7,000 worth of candy to throw out at the Walhalla Christmas parade by the chairman.
Why don't they just throw money out the window? I mean, Daddy Warbucks. He might as well just be throwing cash. It looked like he robbed a bank.
I mean, $25 million worth of candy? Absolutely, throw it out in every corner. You're pissing the money away now.
I'm a Democrat. And look at what you think I'd be doing that crap.
So, but there's a place somewhere, I don't know where it was, but the guys that I'm going to be in the parade with went and bought 2,500 little chocolate Santa Clauses. It was like for $50. So hopefully there actually is a parade next week because I got diabetes and I don't need 2,500 chocolate Santas hanging out there around the house. So.
All right. Well, Rannie, you have the floor because.
But you got to preface it though, Rannie.
Yeah, Rannie's going to take care of everything.
I just wanted to say the thing about the Democrats. If you listen to the local Democrats, they don't like the way they're spending money either.
Not at all.
If you just wait for them to speak up or give them the chance, they hate what's going on as well. So the whole line of this, and that's what I was going to say earlier, this whole line of them using that, I'm conservative, blah, blah, blah. Like you can't be a Democrat and have conservative ideals and conservative principles is nonsense because they hate what's going on right now just as much as you guys do.
But when I listen to them, they're sitting there, this is crazy how we're spending this kind of money. I mean, think of that, which proves it doesn't matter. You have people that take advantage, and you have people that are taken advantage of, and you have people that don't take advantage.
All right, let Randy go because this is interesting.
This has been going on. This courtship has been going on for weeks.
So a couple weeks ago, I got a phone call. I was busy, and I didn't answer it. And it was some lady telling me that she wanted me to call her back. I don't make a habit of calling back women I don't know. OCC set a precedent a long time ago that we don't call other men's wives.
Yeah, yeah. It's all true, Luke.
Right. And so I didn't answer it. I didn't call her back. And, today I got this text a little bit before I came down here. And I'm going to read it, and then we'll talk about it. It says here, Mr. Bond, this is Pamela Mize, Don's wife. I called and left you a message for you to call me, but since I haven't heard from you, I decided to send you a text. Do whatever you want with it because every word is true. I listened to Let's Talk Oconee, and there are a couple things I would like to address. First, you insinuated that Don was taking kickbacks on the Sewer South project to have the money to be able to move to the golf course. That struck a nerve with Don because if Don is anything, he is honest. He is very intelligent and has worked hard for 47 years with Duke Energy at Oconee Nuclear Station. As I am sure you are aware, Duke pays the most of any industry in this area. He rose the ranks and has previously been in positions of leadership and done very well. For over 21 years, we had a dual Duke income as I worked for Duke as well in human resources. Didn't Tony Adams work in human resources somewhere?
Yes.
Okay, that's making sense. All right. It is not necessary for me to divulge any of this, but we would never even consider something so preposterous that was a very serious allegation to make that Don was taking kickbacks on county projects, and his credibility far exceeds any thought of taking kickbacks. Your allegation was a verbal assault on his integrity and credibility. Mm-hmm. Boy, I tell you what, if I had a nickel for every verbal assault the OCC's had at me, that is basically slander. Most people don't pursue lawsuits due to the cost not being worth the outcome. But some do if the means are based on principle. You also called Don trash, and I was shocked that anyone would call another person trash on live broadcasts when you have never even met them. Anyone who knows Don personally knows that he is as far from trash as possible. He has high standards and is a perfectionist in everything he does, and of good character. I'm sure you will disagree with all of this, but it's all facts. And if anyone tells the truth, they have nothing to fear. Well, there you go. I read it. Let's talk about it.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah. I get a shot, too.
Yeah, everybody's going to get a shot.
Go ahead.
All right, well, let me go first. Let me see here. Don is friends with David Nix. They work together at Duke, run around together. But David Nix was the one that said, quote, I was arrested, charged, guilty, and pardoned on the James Barty matter. That's one. Mm-hmm. How many times did Paul Kane, Julian, and John Elliott face the heat from that group?
It wasn't heat. Degrading talk.
Well, it's heat, degrading talk. They were trashed. Mm-hmm. Trashed. Big word. Apparently, Pam's never listened to talk radio before. Apparently, she doesn't understand how talk radio works, because if you listen to talk radio, they trash Biden, they trash Donald Trump, they trash everybody. That's talk radio. That's what talk radio is supposed to be. She got on there and made a post about, I'm a representative of Seneca, and I am a representative of Oconee County. No, I'm a talk show host that owns a radio station and an online radio station that represents views like me, the common person that is tired of the bullshit. I didn't win that election. I lost by 18 votes. But during my whole time, I never once trashed him. I never trashed his family. But wait a minute. Let me stop.
Just 1 second about the election.
I want
you lost the primary by 18 votes.
18 votes.
If you would have ran against him in a general election,
I'd won.
It would have been different.
I'd have won.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We know that. We all know that. But my point is, the group that he claims that he doesn't run around with, that he's his own man, he runs around with them, hugging Perry Smith. Perry Smith done the same damn thing. He's trashed everybody sitting here on this show. He's trashed the Moores. He's trashed everybody. But for her to sit here and say trashed, that you trashed Don, that is the absolute
She said I called him trash. And I'm going to tell you right now, anybody that would put a hate face on Facebook on a post where the city of Seneca is having diversity training for their employees to be able to work better with the community. Anybody that would put a hate face on that because they don't think that we need to be able to talk to our constituents, they're trash.
Well, again,
that's my opinion.
Again, I sit here and I read the whole thing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep telling what I've been telling, the truth. I have more knowledge than he does on everything going on in this county because I've lived it, the history of it, I've studied it, and that's just me. I know everything, and I can tell you the next steps. But when you make a statement in council, in an active council meeting, if I say something, will you just go away? They don't realize how many people they really upset in the Seneca community.
That's pretty trashy, too.
That's pretty bad. Because, number one, you got to take the heat. He's supposed to be his own man. Well, then he needs to be his own man. I tried 5 different times to sit down and have an interview to ask him important questions of things about Seneca. I've tried to help him. And the pictures and then saying, well, I'm not a part of them. Bullshit. You are a part of them. They backed you. They backed your campaign. And they tried to trash me, my family, and everybody around me. They went so low as to even call my ex-wife, calling everybody. So, yeah, it's personal now. But don't get on my page, our page, and sit here and spew your hate. If Don's got a problem, Don needs to do it. Let Don, he's a man. He says he's his own man. Don needs to have a conversation with me. I never once trashed him, and I still haven't trashed him. I've tried to be respectful because I was taught in the politics you respect the office. You can have all the opinions in the world you want. And as long as I'm breathing and I'm alive, we're still going to tell it. Tell the truth, Don. What did you do in county council when you tried to see what you could do to get Let's Talk Oconee shut down? You didn't do a damn thing, and you can't do a damn thing. But see, it's funny, in that text, there you go, the lawsuits, threaten, the slander. Then do it, by God.
Yeah,
there you go.
Do it.
Hire
it. Hire it. Yep. Do it. If you think we're slandering you, do it.
That's right.
Because by God, when we get in the court of law and depositions, it's all on the table, my friends. I've collected over probably close to 500 gigabytes of nothing but raw data that's been out on social media that group has tried to attack me over and over. The moment that I announced from county council, it was on like Donkey Kong.
But here's the thing.
Well, wait, when do I get to talk?
But hold on. Let me say this. And
we got time.
With this text that she sent me, she proved me correct on everything that I've ever said about Mr. Mize and his ability to be a good councilman. He's not doing anything. He has somebody else doing it for him.
Right.
Maybe she should.
The only other
Kathy just said it. Maybe she should have run.
But here's the thing. How many other politicians do we know? And I'm going to go national for just one little second. How many other politicians do we know that everybody has to do everything for them, and there's conspiracy out there whether the man's dead or not? That's the biggest. Joe Biden is that's really it. And look at how the conservative movement is attacking his family and his son. I don't blame him. He brought cocaine to the White House allegedly. But the thing about it is, this is politics, and being a representative of the people, the standard and the threshold is much, much higher for slander and libel and all that stuff than it is if it's just other people.
I'm tired of hearing it every time I turn around. The things that we say on this show are proven facts. We talk about facts. We deal in facts.
And every time we've said something, we've been correct.
We've been correct. I've been correct. Well, even before I knew you, Chris, or Kathy, I've been knowing it for years. and I can tell you where we're heading in this county. We're right now just barely floating, and all it's going to take is a tip to go downward, and we're heading that way right now. I can't get folks to understand that you're spending money like there's borrowing money to spend money, and there's no coming back. There's nothing coming back in return to the
we got to
let
pot. We got to let Chris and Kathy say.
Okay,
yes.
so let me just say something. So she wrote that post to you.
No, it was a text. It wasn't.
It was a text. It was text.
And we had this going on last week. Now she talked about she was an HR Duke, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Don was working with senior people at Duke. So when she posted, and I was answering. I put up the post where Durham used his homophobia against people that he represented. And she was like, "Well, I didn't know that." I find that very hard to believe. Since she said, "Well, you calling me a liar?" I said, "I didn't call you." She tried to put words in my mouth, and I said, "I didn't call you a liar. I said I don't believe you." Now she's an HR person, and Jeff is talking about where this thing is going. So let's just talk about an HR person from Duke and somebody that supposedly worked with senior people. I was in a GE business. I was a direct report to the CEO, direct report. Okay, I had HR people working for me. She was an HR leader. So Don knows that you get people like David Nix and Perry Smith that are using anti-Semitic slurs. People don't like to hear about it in this county. I got news for you, folks. You know, the number one hate crimes in our country are against Jews, and there are Jews being killed. Look up the Tree of Life. So she wants to talk about HR. Well, for Duke won't do squat. I fired people when they pulled shit like that. And I'll tell you what, you think that the slurs that David Nix, who works for Duke, and what Perry Smith said is not as bad as using the N-word in the eyes of a well-run business. There is liability there. Duke knows this. Local Duke knows this. So she wants to talk about HR, and Don knows about this because the county attorney talked to the entire council about the use of anti-Semitic slurs. And people need to start growing up a little bit and understanding. You don't want to hear about it? There are people getting killed for that. And that's what's happening. So you got somebody like that, and she sits there and talks about that. All I know is, you want to say you're an HR leader?
But
okay.
do you think that has anything to do in the back of the minds of executives when they're picking a place to put a factory?
Oh God, are you serious? They know that is incredible liability. When I was on a scout team, if I saw this crap and I saw some nut job like Durham running county saying that we have unlimited funds, and the way they flipped on Sewer South, and you won't even get somebody to recuse themselves from a vote. I said, what kind of nut place is this? Right. People don't understand. When a company comes to invest, it's not a decision where we're going to invest and they do a little bit of money. When they do it, they're in for the long haul because the expenditures are millions and millions.
What I just read about that Blue Oval was they're spending $5.6 billion.
Yeah. You think you're going to risk that in a county that would let people as mature as what the OCC is, what they would do? I mean, there's too much risk there. They got to worry about labor. They don't have time for that crap. So anyways, that's all I want to say. So when she puts that crap in there, I don't know the lady. I never met the lady. I think it's bullshit. And I don't believe for a second somebody as smart as they are do not know exactly what that OCC is, and not what they did to Jeff, not what they did to you when they started talking about you as a father. When you guys don't, not you guys, when this OCC and the other people surrounding them don't say anything, you are just as complicit. Well, and look at how they attack Kathy. They attack Kathy too.
Well, here's the thing. And my grandpa told me, he said, when you throw rocks at dogs, the hurt ones bark.
Sure they do.
So, yeah, nerves have been touched. Sure they have.
You know how you're hitting the red meat is when they start squealing like pigs.
That's right.
Let's get Kathy's comments. Kathy, because I think you've got some good things coming our way right now on the conversation you had back between Don, who was referring to you.
Well, the thing that, and it's just what I told them online. And here again, I don't know them, and it doesn't really matter because it's like I told him and her both, um, because they had issue with what we said, regarding Durham, and why they all come to his aid and are defending him when he has said and done some of the most despicable things, with his anti-LGBTQIA stuff when he's supposed to be a council member is just disgusting. You have to represent all people, despite what David Nix says. You don't just represent the people who voted for you. You represent all the people in your district. That is your job. And if you don't understand your job, then you should get out and let somebody else do it. Anyway, it's disgusting because I can't imagine living in this district and being gay or having a gay child or a trans child and seeing him post that crap on his page and then having the nerve to be in a parade and walk down the street.
So, some of the most affluent people in his district have gay children.
Yes, absolutely. And go to, can you imagine too, just like his wife teaches at a school and probably has students. I mean, it's just gross, man. It's gross, it's tone deaf, it's ignorant, and it's foolish, especially this day and age.
Some of the most affluent people in his district have gay children.
Yes. Read a book, learn something, pray to the God you say you believe in, and get your heart right. I mean, God loves everyone. Everyone. He created everyone, the gay ones too. Okay, so get your heart right. And the fact that Mr. Mize and Mrs. Mize associate with that, if you play with the pigs, you get the dirt on you. So that's your message there. You roll around the pig pen, you get the mud on you. And if you want to come back on us and say, we say this or that, I'm not an elected official. So my name is not out there to contact as a safe person if I am, if a person is a victim of a hate crime. Matt Durham's is, okay? He is listed as a person for gay people if they have been a victim of hate. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
Well, I want to know.
Your child was bullied, and you go to the website and it says to contact him, and he has that foul crap on his page. He has that hateful crap on his page.
Yep.
I mean, there's just so much. There's a whole lot of. But you want to have a problem with the fact that I called him ratty. I got a whole lot of more words, so you can text me and I'll give them to you. Okay?
I want to
get her, Kathy.
Kathy, you're on a roll. I want to add this because I don't want your blood pressure to go up because I'm looking at your face.
Sorry.
I mean, we got to tone you back down a little bit, Kathy.
Sorry.
Why is it that when we post these things as facts because we have them, that he did make the comment about the Ford and the trucks, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, but he's deleted it.
We all got
it doesn't
copies.
matter. It doesn't matter. He did it. We got copies. Why is it that
apologize.
they still
apologize?
But why is it the other side, aka Pam and Don? Why do they still take up for that?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't see that. Oh,
guilt?
my goodness.
Well, but we got it. I mean, and didn't we share it? You posted it. You posted it right back.
I've never seen
And so instead of calling it out and saying, "Well, that was wrong," it was like crickets chirping.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I never saw this. She
Well-
don't say it was wrong.
Well, my question is,
and she was an HR person.
Duke is a very woke industry.
Not here.
Around its entire thing
and
is very.
been that way since the 80s.
And Duke.
But
I
my
hope you're
question
listening today.
is, why such a woke organization is allowing Oconee Nuclear Station to work and be the way it is with these people doing the things they do on social media? I could only imagine. Only imagine being a gay person with a nuclear engineering degree that goes up there.
Or what?
Could you imagine?
Think of this.
Well, gay people work in power too.
You go after Jews. They're doing the same thing about black people, Muslims, Gay people, it's just one. They just feel more
Well,
emboldened.
I wonder what the diversity rate
I
at,
would
at
fire
Duke,
the living
at
shit
Duke
out of
Oconee
these
is anyway.
I would take that senior leadership. I'd send them to Charlotte and I'd say, you explain this because you're going to cost what we've created on the show, and I've done it on purpose. We have a pattern, and I'll be the first one that if anybody sues Duke, call me. I'll be first in line. I won't wear my weird hat. I'll just be there. I'll wear a damn suit for you.
Well, I want to see that. I've never seen you in a suit. Are you going to put a suit, tie on, and short pants like Lindsey Graham used to do in his live hits?
Well, my question, though, is about suits and ties. Let's shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
We had the president of the Richmond District of the Federal Reserve come to town.
Yeah.
And our representation could not wear a suit.
What'd they wear?
Blue pants and
vest. Yellowstone.
Yeah,
or something.
Looked like he's wearing something from Yellowstone
or a Brokeback Mountain or something. But anyway, yeah, and then the ass clown goes on Fox 21 or whatever, YFF, whoever, right? Whoever they are. He goes on this TV that can be seen nationwide, and he looks like 10 pounds of shit and a 5-pound sock, and he can't put a tie on for that either. I mean, you are representing Oconee County. You should do your absolute best to look like you represent Oconee County. Am I wrong?
No. Are we going to talk about
unlimited
wrong? Money too?
You're not wrong.
There's
a time and a place.
Even Glenn Hart.
I'm surprised he didn't have his ball cap on.
Even Glenn Hart wore a sports jacket to the OCC's Veterans Day. Let's steal money from veterans.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
John Elliott wears a suit every meeting.
And again, it's called decorum and respect. There is none with this group. County council meeting, even a suit. You don't have to wear a suit, but a sports coat, button down, nice collar shirt. You want to look respectable when you walk in.
I'm just glad
it's a presentation. You're trying to represent the county the best you can. And if you're going on television, a sports coat would have been great. Something of that order. Yeah. A nice pair of dress pants.
Think about what you were talking about. Think about what you were talking about.
The interview was all over the road.
The county is flush with cash, he said. They couldn't have bought him a coat.
All right, now we're going into that interview. This is the last topic on the show for today. And again,
you're in this now.
I want to preface this by saying, number one, we are very thankful that Corporal Lucas is doing better. He has a long road ahead. Now, he is out of the ICU and step down. He continues to make remarkable improvements. There's good days and there's bad days, and we're still doing everything we can for his prayer, for the family, his little baby boy and stuff. But there's a whole lot of other things that came out of that interview that really have me going, things that make you go, And on one of those, it appeared.
You said that right. Opportunistic.
It appeared that the whole thing, knowing what we know, was not genuine as really. I'm not going to say, I'll say it. It was an opportunity to get publicity for a cause that he's trying to ride it for an election next year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the best I can say it. Now, if he had been genuine.
Well, hey, 2 years ago when a cop car got shot at, he said, it's too expensive. But now, coming up on an election, we're flush with cash.
We're flush with cash. And again, I'm all for protecting everybody, law enforcement, with whatever they need to protect them in the field. But if you're going to do it for the sheriff's department, I have a problem. Where's the fire department? Wait a minute. Where's EMS? Yes. Because let me tell you that in this county, your fire departments and EMS arrive on unsafe scenes before county can even get there.
Yep.
So if you're going to do this and say, well, we're going to put this in law enforcement officers in the sheriff's department vehicles, okay, so you're leaving out the first responders and you're leaving out the fire department. Now, this is the other kicker. We're going to pay for the municipalities, all like City of Seneca and Westminster and West Union and Walhalla and Salem. We're going to pay for all of this?
Well, let's talk about the other county employees that are in tense situations with customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What about the DSS?
What about code enforcement?
Code enforcement, the building inspectors. If you went out to a house and you tell some big buffoon that he needs to redo his work because he didn't put hurricane clips on his rafters or something like that. And
child support. The child support office gets the worst of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that they're behind.
I think
the courthouse.
I believe that the protection of all employees and volunteers in the county is equally as important as a knee-jerk reaction to what has been a very tragic event. And really, it's sad that it took two tragic events for this to even be considered. But that's life, I guess. That's how
Chris has got it next, and then I'll come to you, Kathy.
So let me. Okay, so first off, my brother-in-law was a Chicago cop for 30 years. So what some people will say, they don't support the police. We've heard that. We heard that from Matt Mahan when we were questioning the raises. They're going to say that. So that's a bunch of crap, so I'll say it. So I also think Durham was opportunistic. What he did is there is no way in hell you're going to spend $10 to $20 million to outfit all these cars just for one police department. It's not feasible. He did it because then he can say, well, geez, I tried, but these assholes. Okay, guys. He's running for election, so he did it, which makes it even worse. It's patently transparent what he was trying to do. So here's the other thing that people don't think about. If you just take the police department and do these cars, you're talking at least $10 million, okay? We don't have that money. We're not flush with money because we had to borrow money for sure. $25 million turned into 40. But here's what's important. Cars are a depreciable asset. They're depreciable because over time they deteriorate. So if you have bulletproof cars, you do not have a one-time expense. You have a reoccurring expense that's applied to that budget of millions of dollars. So there are reasons why these large police departments, municipalities across the country, they just can't afford it. A lot of them can't even afford bulletproof vests. So you get a small county like ours. We know we can't afford it. I am very insulted that the councilman that leads the majority is using this tragedy for political gain, because that's all it is, because I don't believe he gives a crap.
All right, jdpower.com, reputable website for years. They're listing these cars for the police anywhere between $3,000 and $20,000 to get a bulletproof car windows.
Yes.
The level of protection.
For the doors.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. The most popular armor packages can cost between $30,000 to $90,000 plus the vehicle.
Exactly.
So they're in the backup material for Tuesday's meeting. They've got for a Dodge Durango, a police Dodge Durango, and it was like, what I tell you, $89,000? It was close to $89,000. So if you really want to make all of this work and you want to give them protection, we're looking at $100,000 and something per car.
And the weight of that armor weighs down on the tires, the motors, and everything else.
But here's the thing: we got so few deputies in such a big area. They are covering. I mean, they might be in Seneca, then they might be up 107, then they might be down at Port Bass. They're driving like crazy. So we're talking about
Cars
a turn.
wear
Trying
out.
to stop a freight train.
They're running these cars to death in 2 or 3 years.
Let's do
so
this.
Every 2 or 3 years, we got to buy another $100,000 car.
All right, let's just say
Times
right
80.
now we've got, what would you say, 50? I'm just going to say deputy sheriff's cars. I'm just going to go with a figure. I don't have the right figure, but I'm going to go with 50 cars.
Okay, so that's about $5 million incremental.
Okay, so if we do that and we replace all of them at $125,000, that's $6 million.
But you're not replacing. Remember the.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you're going to do all this add-on, why don't you just start replacing the fleet? If we're loaded with cash, right? If we're loaded with cash, and you want to do something with that $25 million, why don't you just go ahead and lay out $6 million and replace the fleet?
And it's not like you can take the windows out of a 2014 Ford, whatever that thing is,
a Ford Explorer,
and put it in a 2026.
I mean, the Crown Vics are over.
Right.
Let's start phasing all the Crown Vics out.
But my point is that
here's the thing.
It goes away every time the car expires.
All right,
you
Kathy.
can't save it.
Oh, go, Kathy.
Here's the thing. How many officers have ever been shot in Oconee? How many?
Shot at?
Shot. Actually shot.
1928.
2.
Okay, so
last week.
Well, 2 weeks ago. Now we've got 2. The last time it was under what they used to call the old Oconee County Police before the Sheriff's Department was even incorporated or, developed. 1928, he actually died in the line of duty, and it was 1928.
Okay, so one question for you.
So statistically, as horrible as this is, statistically, it's not feasible or necessary.
Honestly, it would be feasible going forward. You could put it and build it in when you start replacing these vehicles. You could start modifying them and doing them then. But I think to go modify the whole fleet right now is unrealistic.
But my question is, do we have body cameras for every officer?
Yeah, I think we do.
Are they here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. We have body cameras.
Do we have everything else that the sheriff's office requires?
That was what I could not tell you. If every officer has a bulletproof vest or body armor, I can't tell you that.
I think they do. The next question is, what other measures could have been used to prevent this from happening?
Well, I'm not sure that. I'm not sure that you can prevent these kind of issues. For example, if you have a cop that does a police stop and he does a traffic stop, and this is just given in the nature, I'm not sure you'll ever be able to stop it because you have no idea what the person driving or the occupants of the car, you have no idea what they have.
Right, but here's what I'm going to say, and I'll get the hairy stank eye for it. What I'm going to suggest, and this is what a lot of places have, is that maybe it's time for them to look at a no pursuit policy. Because here's the thing, unless like for example, the story that I sent you guys from Anderson, where they actually saw the guys shoot somebody and then they were able to apprehend them, that's a good case to follow somebody. Okay, there were witnesses. 2 guys, did like a drive-by. There were people, they saw that happen. They followed them. They took care of it. Nobody got hurt beyond what they saw. They were able to pick them up without incident. Unless you see them harm someone or there's a kidnapping, they have somebody in the car, unless there is like immediate danger, let them go. You've got their information. You can then regroup and go in and make a plan and pick them up at a later time. Unless there is something that is immediately going to happen, maybe it is better
Sounds reasonable to me.
to regroup and make a plan and pick them up later. Because I'm telling you, when you know where someone lives, they're going to have to leave and they're going to have to go to sleep at some point. And it's a whole lot safer to have a group of people go in. I mean, if you think someone's dangerous and they go in with that tear gas and stuff, that renders people, really easy to deal with. When you got snot coming out of your face and stuff, it makes you not so dangerous. It does, man. If you've ever seen it happen, they go in with those flash boom things and the tear gas. You can get people to comply that way, and then nobody gets hurt. So once you have that information, you got the tag, you've got the car, you're going to know where they live. So let them drive off. That's what I'm saying. Let them drive away. So what, they were speeding. So what, they have a warrant. So what, if they don't have a little kid tied up in a car and they didn't just shoot somebody that you saw, let them go. Make a plan and go pick them up later. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you can avoid this shootout.
Let me just say one thing. So he was talking about this, saying we're flush with money. Okay, so we just borrowed $25 million that's going to cost us $40 to pay back.
Yeah.
Why, if we're flush with money, why did we borrow money? That doesn't make any sense. If you're borrowing this bond money, you're borrowing this bond money because what you're doing is you need the money for some expenditures that you're going to build something to be on the hook for. So how can you you don't just go borrow this kind of money that with this kind of payback if you have money. You only buy it to do something you're going to use it for. So where is this money that we're flush with coming from? That means you're taking it from someplace else. Right?
I absolutely agree. It was a tragic situation. It is, and we can only hope the best for the deputy and his family.
Absolutely.
But the outcome of the investigation is going to be very important to the county's business decisions going forward.
Being a leader is a tough job.
Right.
Making tough decisions. You just don't do knee-jerk for the ratings.
But the thing about it is it's on the surface commendable that Mr. Durham went to the hospital and was there with this guy and his family. It was commendable that the sheriff, gave him accolades at the last county council meeting for that. It's admirable that he went on TV and talked about how they're going to upgrade all the, county's cars with bulletproof glass. I really, if you're going to do something like that, and this is not the south side of Chicago. This is 2.5 hours from Atlanta. We don't have the problems that LA has. They just don't exist here. But they're going to be here in the future, for sure, if we get 6,000 houses in Mountain Rest and another 10,000 houses down in Fairplay. And when you bring people, they bring their problems with them. We all see that.
Or Louisiana,
anywhere.
Highest per capita.
So, do you know how much criminal activity comes through Oconee County? That 4 miles of I-85. Mm-hmm. It's the drug thing from Charlotte to Atlanta, Georgia. It's been that way.
The very thing that they want to develop.
Right.
Maybe if they just built a wall and cut the exits out, we could cut out all the crime.
Well, that's where it comes from. You've got the drug pipeline from Highway 11 up.
As a true conservative and a follower in the past of the MAGA movement, not a follower of that anymore, I believe walls work. And we should put a wall from the Georgia line all the way to the Oconee County line. And we need to have Gestapos with guns that search vehicles that take Oconee exits.
Well, what you need to do is have a bombing run. Get the planes from Shaw Air Force Base and do a bombing run. Bomb every bridge including the Jocassee Dam, to flood the whole damn valley and come on the Hartwell side over here at Tougaloo and go and bomb every damn bridge down there and put a nuclear crater between Jackson County and Oconee County where they touch, and we are our own island. We can become our own country, the land of Oconee. Like that. You have to have a visa to get in here.
But here's the thing. We've talked about all this money and stuff that the county has. And
we're loaded.
We're loaded up.
I mean, that's the stupidest crap I've ever heard in
But listen, we're loaded up.
We're loaded.
But it's just stupid.
So as a county, but listen to this. We're loaded up. We get a text message from a lady that says that she worked at Duke, and she has more money than God and can do whatever she wants to, apparently.
Yeah.
Right? But this past weekend, I've been on fire calls to people that are living in some of the worst conditions.
You can look down and see chickens in their house.
Imaginable. And those people have been forgotten by their representatives who want to spend millions of dollars on industry and millions of dollars on bulletproof glass and millions of dollars on all these other things, but they're not looking out for the common man in Oconee County.
You know what? They sit there about zoning.
Did he ever get back? Did he ever get back to you and let you know how other people can contribute to that fund to help less fortunate with their taxes?
You sure did.
Something that is not available. We can't find any record of it on file with the Secretary of State of South Carolina.
But
nothing's coming back. But there's a check with this name on it, and there's nowhere else where you can donate money.
My question is,
now think about that, y'all.
Listen. My question is, Monday morning is the tax sale at the courthouse.
Yeah.
I want to see Christy Hubbard walk outside and say, these number of houses have been saved from going into auction by this charity.
Yeah. Again,
I want to
Randy,
see that.
Again, Randy, it would be good if it's legitimate, but it ain't legitimate.
But if it is legitimate,
prove it.
That should be
if
the
it's
journal.
No, it should be on his website.
But here's the thing.
It should be on his county council website.
But the journal should be in.
People contribute.
The journal should be there, and have this. YFF should be there and have this. Right. This is an epic event that people's houses are saved right before the holidays.
Amen.
This is big news.
I want to say something else too. If the county is so flush with money, we have had these threats to the school with a child bringing a gun to school and they didn't know all day, walked around with a gun. We've had a child threaten to shoot up the school.
They were just boys being boys.
Hey,
children, wait, I'm not done.
Oh.
Children writing songs about shooting up the school, sexually assaulting people, talking about special needs children of the teachers and this and that. We've had all this happen, and we have a superintendent that says we don't need metal detectors in the school, and that it's too much of an expense and that it would make people uncomfortable.
Well, he ain't gonna be able to get the money off of it.
If we're flush with money, why can't we have the protection for our children at the school if the county has so much money? Why can't we get protection for our kids so that they're safe and we can't have weapons in the schools? If we got so much money in the county, why can't we have that at the schools? I want to know that.
Well, if we were flush with cash, Kathy, we could have all of that. And it also wouldn't have somebody coming to the county council meeting with analysis that says that it's going to take 221 years to resurface all the paved roads in the county.
Right.
Yeah.
If we were flush with cash, we shouldn't need anything. And if we've got all this cash, why isn't the council meeting our needs?
Okay, so what ends up happening? Kathy, so when you and Randy, when you look at this, what ends up happening when you get somebody like Durham gets on that show and he talks all this weird crap, you start losing confidence in the ability to lead. Okay, you start questioning that leadership. You start questioning if there are people making money or whatever. You said it's natural. I have lived in a lot of places. I've always supported the police, and I'm using this as an example. When the Journal didn't stand up, and I'm going to give an example. You had a no trespassing and some other stuff that McMahon put against you. There was a stupid 50-cent notebook or whatever that they were able to file a complaint and they were able to do an investigation. A couple of months ago, I had a person on Facebook make physical threats to me to beat me up whenever I came out of my gated community, which there are no gates, folks, okay? I went down to the courthouse. I went down to the police department. I filed a complaint, all the documentation, even pictures of this person holding an automatic rifle. A direct threat. It went to the magistrate, and it wasn't actionable, okay? That's bullshit. Think about that.
When that magistrate's on WYFF saying, if I'd have only done something 2 years ago.
There you go. But the point is, we got a police department.
I know, I get it.
I filed against Perry Smith when he eluded feds. It's got to be a direct threat. We're not going to do anything.
Well, how come?
Then I get a direct threat, don't do jack shit.
That's problem. A direct threat. If I look at you and say, I'm going to kill your ass.
Yeah.
That's a direct threat, right?
Yeah,
if I say I'm going to kill you, Randy, or Kathy,
if you wrote it.
If I wrote it, it's still a direct threat.
No, you wrote it and it's
Hey,
proof.
if you sing it at
this
school,
person wrote it.
It's not
wrote it on paper.
You know that?
Do what, Kathy?
If you put a backbeat to it at school and
you rap to it. Yeah.
Rap it, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, you're going to talk about killing the PE teacher and the special needs techer. And again, it's just boys being boys.
And I'm starting to lose trust. Never in my life have I started. You know what it reminds me of?
I have no trust.
It reminds me of a small county with somebody that's very powerful, and I start to lose that
What's that
trust.
movie Johnny Cash starred in?
Dukes of Hazzard.
No, he didn't star in Dukes of Hazzard. What was the movie that Johnny Cash was the sheriff out of a Georgia county? I got to find the name of that movie because that's exactly what it reminds me of.
All you have to do is the right thing.
What do you
just
think
do the right thing.
What do you think when you've got people that openly call other people on boards and whatnot when they call them communists, openly call them that?
Oh hell!
Here's another thing.
They talk like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Durham
what do you expect?
Mr. Durham was invited to come and talk to all of his constituents about his budgeting decisions. Right?
What budgeting decision?
Well, now listen. He absolutely dug his heels in the dirt and said, "I will not be here. I won't do it. I'm not going to do it, or whatever."
And he did it.
But here's the thing. But then he goes to WYFF and gets on there without any support from any of his other, team, right?
Fox Carolina,
whoever it is, and he's going to talk about the county's flush with cash. But 2 months ago, he was talking about how we didn't have no money, right?
Yeah, we're broke,
and we've been squandering money. We've been spending it all wrong. But
dude, there's enough of money.
He's going to go down in history as the chairman who spent the most money ever.
And dude, there's enough money in the general operating fund to fund every damn thing you want in this county 2 times over. That's the fact. But we had to go take 25 more million in bonds out. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, we've come to the end of the show. Kathy, I'm gonna go ahead and let you have the final word here.
Well, I was just gonna say that the fact that he's exploiting that poor family's tragedy for his own gain is just disgusting.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Chris, go ahead.
Okay, so I think it's a good show. You guys heard us.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you know that Ruin Consulting does soil testing for manufacturing or whatever, it's not cheap, but it's the best. So talk to me before you go to Clemson or USC or anybody else. Thank you.
Rannie Bond,
So, my opinions have not changed. I think that those councilmen are not doing what they're supposed to do for the county at all.
Chris, what's the word that we were looking at? What's the word that was called, David Nix called the council in the Chipotle incident?
Oh, golly.
Go ahead. We're going to come back to that real quick.
But here's the thing. I don't believe that they're representing their constituents at all. I have not heard Don Mize mention anything for any of his constituents in the almost year that he's been on the council so far. The only thing he has said is leave me alone. Don't talk to me. What good is that? Whose agenda are you following?
Visionaries.
So, I tell you what, there's a lot of visionaries out there, and a lot of people see shit, and they see stuff, and it gets put in a mental institution. So, those are true visionaries.
Well, I have to admit, this was a good show. We've had a great conversation. Remember, this show is not live, but you're welcome to leave the comments. Whatever you want to do, we'll come back and take a look at them.
That'll give us something to start the show with next week.
Well, I was wanting to do a Tuesday show because it's county council meeting, but unfortunately, I've had a death in the family, so I'm having to go to a funeral. My aunt passed away at age 84 this past week, so I don't think there's going to be anything worth a damn playing the county council meeting this week. So it is the holidays, and we need to try to cheer up and be festive, and that's just depressing listening to that shit. So I can do it next Sunday. Is that good with y'all?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it. Yeah, you can. Mm-hmm. You'll be here.
Yeah.
That'll be the 10th.
A week from tomorrow.
That'll be a Christmas parade.
Yeah, it's Christmas parade.
The Walhalla Christmas parade will be next Sunday.
Are you going live from the parade, Jeff?
No.
What time is the parade?
4 o'clock. Jeffy don't do Walhalla parade. They don't like me in Walhalla.
Oh, well.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. There's new leadership up there now. I'd like to maybe see. If y'all get it arranged, I'll go up and broadcast it.
That's
Yeah, because they're doing the tree lighting and everything.
Well, they do it bass-backward, so it's dark up there time they do the tree lighting, and they don't put lights out, so you really can't see anything on camera like we do at Seneca, where we light the front where you can see everything. So it's just a little bit weird. Anyway, just be watching. We'll let you know when we're going to be on next.
Yeah, the 17th. We can do the 17th.
Do y'all want to skip next week?
Well, that's what we're talking about, the parade.
We could do.
Let's go ahead and just skip next week, and we'll do the 17th for our Christmas show. On Sunday for the 17th. That'll be the last one for the year because we're going to be moving to our new studio. We're going to be under the basement now.
Insured by Julio Avis.
The crawl space.
Yep, we're going to be in the crawl space.
Certified by our accountant, Juan Melliott.
All right, don't forget, more to the story Monday night. And you can watch it right here on Let's Talk Oconee, 7 o'clock, The Vantage, more to the story. For Chris Ruin, for Rannie Bond, I'm Jazzy Jeff along with Kathy. See you next time, everyone, here on Let's Talk OconeeSC.com.